Welcome to Shambhavi Spectrum. I have here a special guest who does some very special work, Mr. Mandar Joshi. Mr. Mandar Joshi is an angel investor, startup mentor, deal advisor, and a keynote speaker who has spoken in many forums to more than 45 nationalities. Mr. Mandar, let us start with a little bit of your background. Please tell me something about yourself.
Hi, good afternoon, Shambhavi. First of all, thank you for inviting me on Shambhavi Spectrum. You are doing a wonderful job of, creating these interviews for people, to learn something, to take away something from that, add immense value to a lot of people's lives. So thank you for that. On their behalf, on my behalf as well.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, certainly, certainly. About what you asked me, my journey or my background. By qualification, Shambhavi, I am a chartered accountant certified by Institute of Chartered Accountants of India.
Mhm.
I am a chartered accountant also certified by Institute of Chartered Accountants of England and Wales, UK.
Mhm.
I have done my MBA in Strategic Alliances and International Business. Uh, that's it. And then post graduation in commerce with everybody in India does, to start with. So yeah, this is my qualifications. I worked till 5 years back till 2015. I all the way I had my corporate career. I worked in few countries. I worked in Muscat, Oman. I worked
Mhm.
in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, Singapore,
Wow.
India, in Pune, my own city, and now Dubai for 8 years. I work with BDO Consultancy, which is one of the top 10 business advisory in the world. I work with Ernst and Young, which is I think second or third largest in the world today. At the age of 24, 25, I think. Yeah, 25, I became the India CFO for a company called Imeris. It is a French multinational company into mining and chemical manufacturing. It is listed on Paris Stock Exchange. Uh,
Mhm.
During my tenure there of 5 years, we grew in India from one manufacturing plant to four manufacturing plants when I was CFO for India. After that, I have time, right? I can take 2 minutes.
Yeah, please. In fact,
Yeah.
I was
So
just going to say numbers is your game because you're just talking numbers. That's all, and some more of it. Please tell me from one to
uh,
5 years is a very big achievement. Please share more.
uh, okay. Thank you for allowing me. Then I became they appointed me, the same company appointed me as head of business intelligence for Asia Pacific, covering 8 countries. Here I traveled a lot. I have traveled almost every country in Asia, wherever Emirates business is there. This position was there for a year, and then I was promoted to the regional CFO for Southeast Asia region, where Emirates had business in Malaysia, Vietnam, Indonesia, Thailand, and Singapore. So I was handling these 5 countries. Then I came to Dubai around 8 years back. I worked here for 3 years as group CFO of a company called Global Gases Group, which is a leading medical and defense gases company globally as well. We are When I left in 2015, we were in 17 countries. Now they are in 21 countries. Indian family business grown into a multinational. Uh, and 2015, I left my corporate job. I said enough, and now I want to focus on something which is my expertise. Strategic alliances. Strategic alliances for non-financial people simply means mergers of two companies, acquisition of a company, joint venture between two companies, creating a franchisee model, distribution franchisee model for large companies. So this was my expertise when I started in 2015. It was a boutique deal advisory firm, you can say. Uh, and here the interesting thing starts, Shambhavi. One of the first two clients I had coincidentally, purely coincidentally, a startup founder who was
Mhm.
looking for an angel investment round with a group of people, group of 10 people. uh, uh, IT geek, basically IT person, technology background, had no clue about fundraising journey. What do you mean by equity valuation? How the shareholding agreement is structured, who gets the board of directors position, lot of
Yeah.
things inside.
So sorry to
Uh,
interrupt you. Was this in India or this was in
no, no,
Dubai?
here in Dubai,
In
here in
Dubai.
Dubai, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I started
Please
in
go ahead.
Dubai.
I have other questions to ask you, but you please go ahead and then
Yes.
we'll come back to mine. Yes.
This was one startup founder. The second startup founder was looking for a large venture capital fund to invest a much larger amount than the first one. Coincidentally, they both came in first 4 or 5 months of my practice. Somewhere here, I found my, as they say, calling. You know,
Yeah.
uh, I realized that there is a lot to do in this world. Of startups. A lot of startup founders have a lot of capabilities. They have nice ideas. If they get the funding in the right way, you know,
True.
they can achieve their targets. They can fulfill their dreams. However, the startup founders usually are looking for money, and they are not very rich people.
Hmm.
And they cannot appoint a very large multinational advisory, which is very expensive. Say, for example, Ernst& and Young or PricewaterhouseCoopers. Uh, Whereas the investor, on the other hand, angel
Hmm.
investor or a large VC firm, right? The fund, they have the capabilities to have the best of the lawyers, the best of the financial advisors, to structure a deal for them.
Right.
So I decided that, not I decided, it just happened that,
Happened
I
to
started
you.
helping them. And
Right.
now, I don't know. It now, when you reinterpret what happened, I feel good now. But that time, I was little irritated because the startup founders could not pay my fees. Yeah, because they are always, looking for funds and trying to make the ends meet and so on. So what happened is they said that okay, Mandar, we will offer you equity
Yeah.
percentage in our
I was going
company.
to say that apart from the experience, what did they offer you?
Yeah. So no, they offered me equity. Okay.
Okay.
One of them, of course, I will not take anybody's name, but one
No,
of
no,
them
please don't.
unfortunately failed, and that equity, whatever percentage the gentleman offered me, became value zero, and I
Hmm.
lost whatever I worked and so on. The other one, in 1.5 years time, a year and a half probably, I exited with 3x. Okay,
Wow.
triple
In
the
one and a
amount
half
of.
years, 3x. You're just about numbers and you're about multiplying them, Mandar. Very
Yeah.
honestly.
So
Let,
yeah, it became 3x, and then I said, wow, this is, I was a little frustrated that I didn't get my money. Now I got triple the amount, after
it
waiting for
balanced.
a year and a
Nature
half.
balanced for you.
Yeah, exactly. And it also, apart from balancing Shambhavi, it also opened a new avenue for me. I realized myself that, okay, by God's grace, I have enough resources, I have enough money, I can say in simple terms. Why not I start investing as well if I find something interesting myself? And that's where my angel investment journey
Amen.
started. Yeah.
So tell me one thing. We often discuss that managers have intuition. They are supposed to look at numbers, but they use intuition. What has the role of intuition been in your journey, right from the fact that you moved on to becoming a mentor to an angel investor? What is the role of intuition? How much do you depend on it?
I depend on it too much. Uh, I'll tell you something that over the years, Shambhavi, I have realized that I am very good in understanding people.
Okay.
Okay, and this is, I think, a part of intuition that you meet somebody
Yes.
for an hour or 2 hours in a meeting, a coffee meeting or something. I quickly understand his motives, his intentions. You know, so I'm good at that. I think so. And there is no formula, by the way. I cannot tell you that if you have point number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then this guy is good to invest, and this person is not good to invest, or this startup works, or this is coming from experience probably. And yes, this is pure intuition for me.
So what is the role of numbers then with intuition? Do the numbers speak and then you act? little bit of there's some intuition to it, or is it just that you just
No,
look
now
at,
you're talking about investment, right? Investment in
yeah,
stock.
anything, and basically anything I'm saying. The role of
I'll tell you investment as well, mentoring as well. Both
right.
of these. Okay. For me, intuition comes first. Okay.
Mm,
Or the person comes first, I would say, and then the business model comes, or the money comes. Because I don't want to deal with anybody whose idea is fantastic, and he will be one day a billionaire, and I get
sure.
associated with him. I also earn a lot of money, but enjoying that process is more important. Sam. This is what I have
Right.
realized. Money I have, and money, money comes, money goes. But enjoying that process is extremely important, and you can enjoy the process only if you like the person you are dealing with, right? Because otherwise, you cannot enjoy the process when you don't like you are associated with somebody and you don't
Good.
know each other very well, right? So for me, intuition comes first. The gut feel comes first about the person.
Right.
The heart should be in the same place, right? And then money is another thing, that because you have to check the equity valuation, whether it makes a commercial sense and so on.
Mm, mm.
Yeah. So
So
this is
in
my process.
your own entrepreneurial journey, it's become your own entrepreneurial journey, helping other entrepreneurs. Is that right? Would you say that that is
Yes, if you can say so. Yes, you put it in the right words actually.
helping other people find their niche or whatever their requirements, mentoring them, has made
Yeah.
you into an entrepreneur of, in your own league. And
Right.
very typically, which we say that in the market you found a gap, you identified that gap, you were in the correct time, correct place, and you were able to see that there is this gap which you could fill. Also, your background, your qualifications, your experience with so many countries, so many people, um, helped in that journey. So, for you as well as the people who you are mentoring. So, one question which I want to go a little backtrack and understand is, what was the role of technology in this so many countries travel? You said in 1 year you traveled so many places, you did so many things, you were in touch with so many people. What was the role of technology at that time?
Hardly anything, because I'm talking about the journey that I told you is from 2005 to 2015.
Right.
So technology, I'll tell you, technology was somewhere there in Silicon Valley. We used to hear about it. Okay, we used to hear about Google. We used to hear about Facebook. Amazon was not so much, but Apple, for example. Okay, it was not there so much in India. It was not there so much at all in this region, Middle East or Southeast Asia.
Right.
It was, I think, still a decade ahead. Silicon Valley is still a decade ahead of India and Asia.
Hmm.
So, role of technology was not that much. However, I could that time see that a lot of revolution is bound to happen because it is already happening in the Western world. So the
Correct.
moment this region and the people got exposed to what's happening there, they started replicating. They started
Right.
getting inspired.
Right. So, and answer this question for me. Typically, like doctors, when they go for a party, immediately somebody will have some pain and say, I have pain here. Do you have a solution? Or my that uncle is suffering from this. Do you also get asked investment ideas and where you have to dole out information which probably you would keep reserved for a community which is different? Do you get asked such questions?
Yes. First, yeah. The first part of your question is, do I get asked such questions? Yes, very regularly, and more often as I grow, and and people know about the success story and so on. Yes,
Right.
they do ask. They do ask. I help them as much as I can. Like for example, we are having a one-to-one conversation over a coffee.
Yes.
Why not? Whatever I can help, nothing specific, okay,
Mm.
but yes, I do help. I tell them why I invest in this company or why I don't want to invest in that company. But these are all personal opinions at a very broad level. These are not very analytical or not very research oriented, I would say, right?
But having said that, I must congratulate you because I know you have a series of videos on YouTube and particularly on LinkedIn where you tell people why you invested into some organization, what was your logic behind it, which I think is great information to be sharing. It is not something which everybody would be doing or sharing or same following your footsteps or have that kind of reach, honestly, Manda. But for people who are looking at when they want investments or when they want to start a company, I think they would also benefit reading that, listening to that to understand what makes people tick and how to give the correct information to the correct people so that you can have. I mean, we are being transparent. It's a transparent world now. Technology has done that to us, which is very good. That the minute you Google somebody's name or a company, all the background information is readily available.
Right.
So that is something which is good. And then, but then when you share information openly and say that this is how, and I have followed your LinkedIn post, and in fact, that's one of the reasons why we met. And
Yes, exactly.
so tell me something about this community that you are creating now. You're mentoring so much. Tell me what is happening this week in Mandar's life along the angel investors. And angel investors are really like you have to search for them in this part of the region. I'm a part of many groups where they keep saying how to fund, how to get funding, how to, kind of put this in plan. One side. On another side, there are a lot of universities and organizations which are encouraging startup competitions. And I have been attending a few over the summer to see what kind of ideas are there. Some hypothetically are very great. How it will actually be implemented, we don't know. So there is a balance that there is a need for angel investors, and there are a lot of ideas which are coming up. Specifically now, I think Corona did that to us. So tell me more about how do you, what is happening in your life right now as an angel investor?
In my life as an angel investor?
Yeah, what is going on around you? Like, I mean, what are you doing right now? How are you addressing these needs?
Okay, okay. I'm a regional partner for Middle East and North Africa region for Venture Catalyst. Venture Catalyst is now India's largest and world's seventh largest early stage investor and integrated incubator.
So
Uh,
let me congratulate you on that note. Congratulations, because this
Thank
definitely
you. I've been working with
deserves.
Venture Catalyst for over a year now, but yes, now the relationship has been formalized a few months back. Uh, So in terms of angel investment, what I do is, of course, I educate the people to become angel investors. So I have transformed a lot of people who were old school investors in real estate and commodities and stock market into this new world of angel investing. So a lot of education needs to be delivered, and it's a process again, right? So this is what I do. Another thing is I always search for good startups on LinkedIn. You mentioned LinkedIn, for example. Every day, you won't believe, but every day, whether it is weekday or weekend, on an average, two or three pitch decks of startups land in my private message box every day. Okay,
Okay.
and it has increased during the COVID season, pandemic. It
So
has
one,
become a
one
habit.
question. Yeah, one question before that, before you continue. Is that a good LinkedIn etiquette to follow to send your pitch deck to you in your message? Is that a good LinkedIn etiquette?
Uh, yes, but some people have copy paste message, you know. Uh,
Okay,
there are some pitch decks I don't open, so I will tell you why. Okay,
right.
a message lands and hi, comma. Okay, we are starting an innovative idea which will change the world, right? We are looking for angel investment, and we want to give you the opportunity. Look at the
Right.
wording. We want to give you the opportunity to be a part of this revolutionary business model or whatever. When I read something like this around this, okay, I
Right,
don't
right,
open the pitch deck.
right.
Yeah.
It doesn't give good
So
vibes. Yeah. Even if when you're asking, you should. In
yeah,
Hindi, we have this मांगने की तरह मांग. Be like as you're asking, not like you're demanding it.
asking and show me the win-win situation there. Not
Yes,
like you are doing your favor on me.
favor, correct. Very true.
right? So it has to be win. I'm not saying that you beg for it. I'm not
No,
saying that
you
I'm
don't. Yeah,
asking, but you show me the win-win situation. Why should I open your pitch deck? Is there a hook for me,
correct.
right? So that's important. Uh, yeah. So and then it has become my hobby to see good pitch decks.
Right.
So
So you do, because you're in that line, you're in that business, you do
yes, yes,
open
of
pitch
course, of
decks to
course,
see what
of
they
course.
are.
And then I filter the pitch decks and I see whom to have a call because everybody wants to have a call, but I have my
Right.
limited time, so I see
Hmm.
whom to have a call. If from that call I feel it is a great idea or the founder is fantastic, then I put it in the cycle with venture catalyst. Now
Okay.
at venture catalyst level we are receiving around 700 pitch decks every month. Okay, and we
From
are
which region is this?
mostly India. Couple
Mostly.
of them from UK, couple of them from this region, couple of them from Southeast Asia, but mostly India. I would say 90-95% from India. Uh, and there, from 700 on average, we are funding 3 to 4 every month. So you're talking about 0.5%, 0.5% that we are funding on an average. There is no rule, but this is what is
Yeah.
happening there.
Yeah.
So there is a whole filtering process for whom to fund and whom not to fund. I help them in that process
Good.
as well. Along the way, I learn.
Good.
Uh, Another point you mentioned, and I would like to just spend a minute if you allow me. You mentioned
Please, please.
about the LinkedIn post, right? And
Yes.
you rightly mentioned that my LinkedIn post is helping a new angel investor how to assess a startup. It is
Yes.
also helping other startup founders,
Yes.
what investors are looking for while
Correct.
investing, and it also helps the startup in which I invested.
Right. Yes. Of course.
Because now because of my LinkedIn following, I get say 100, 150 comments, 150 to 200 likes every time, and it's a free service for me that so many people are looking at his logo, so many
Right.
people are understanding what this guy
Yeah.
or the gentleman or the
Yeah,
lady is doing.
I
It's a
have
free
done that
exposure.
myself. Yeah, I have done that myself. Some
Exactly.
company you had invested in, and I went to see what is their company's offering, and definitely they are getting more eyeballs, which is what more everybody is talking about right now. So
Yeah.
I have done that. I completely agree with you that the company also gets visibility when a person like this of an expertise of your caliber speaks about them. They definitely get
Yeah.
positive because you're mentoring them, so it's like a positive.
Positive. Yes. Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So, so we in marketing typically we say pull strategy, push strategy. Pull strategy means people are searching for you, which is exactly what you've told me. That people are searching for you, they come to you. So you are not actually seeking and saying, okay, I have this money ready. Where do you want me to put it? It is more like
No.
people are coming to you and saying that we have this offering. Would you like to invest with us, or would you like to mentor us, or would you like to find somebody to invest with us? Whatever. So it's more like you're working on full strategy. I know you do a lot of keynote speeches and things like that. So how do now you probably don't need to track yourself as to which was effective or what was not effective. But earlier on, how did you actually let people know that you're there, and how did you track it? That which of your videos or posts, and are you on Instagram and Facebook with your official page, Mandar? Is
Yes,
that
I'm
your
on Instagram. I'm on Facebook. My social
is that
media
your audience?
person handles it mostly. There
Okay.
is a lot of audience. Okay.
Mm, mm,
However, what I find is on Instagram specifically, there are not many serious people.
right.
I'm not an entertainer. I'm not a celebrity. So it works for me.
Like
It
a
doesn't work for
celebrity.
me.
Yeah.
I'm still figuring out. But yes, I'm there. But mostly I'm busy on LinkedIn. I think I
Mm,
spend uh, between 2 to 4 hours every day on LinkedIn.
okay.
Yes,
But that
it's
is
an
where
effort.
your yeah, that is where your
And
uh,
it's working fantastically for me. You talked about pull strategy. One thing I should explain or you need to understand, Shambhavi, that what I do is very unique.
right.
First of all, it relates to money.
Yes.
Okay, it relates a lot to trust. I'm not
Right.
saying the commodity key. I'm
Or
I'm saying something. FMCG product or a brand and please take it, 10 rupees, 10 rupees ka ek, 20 rupees ke do. It's
Yeah,
not that.
one size fits all is not
It's
your.
a, yeah, it's a very strategic thing, very unique thing I'm doing. So push strategy will never work in this. The
Right.
more I tell you, that invest in this startup, Shambhavi, invest in, more you will go, like why this guy? There
I
must be
push.
something wrong. It has to be pulled. People have to approach me. I'll tell you till today, I have my community of 53, 54 people now as of today. Okay, Indian investor community to whom I have transformed. They did first investment because of me, in directly or indirectly. You are one of them,
Thank
right?
you.
So yeah, so
I
basically, and from your experience as well, you will, I never went to anybody and say invest in this. It
true.
was always somebody approached me looking at my videos, looking at my whatever articles I put in, see that yeah, this guy is knowledgeable, this guy has been there, done that, and the people
Right.
approach me, and then the education process starts. Again, on social media, even if it is full strategy, it is good for me for lead generation only, you
Mm.
know. So this
Okay.
is the lead. So basically, when somebody comes to me as an angel investor or a startup founder, then this is start of the process. Then I have to talk to them. They have to understand what I'm saying. I have to understand their concerns. So again, it's a process. So you cannot close something. You cannot close a deal on social media. I don't think so. In my business, in my not business, profession or service. Okay, it is a starting point.
Yeah, it's a high risk, high involvement
Yeah,
offering, service offering which you're giving. It's not something which overnight people can decide and say, okay,
yeah,
let me do this, and let me. Even if people have money, I think because it's again, like you said, it's money, and it is something which you should know where your money is going. So
yeah.
it's not something which one would expect to be, like you said, an FMCG thing. So that is why I asked you that, are you there on Instagram or are you there on
Yes, I'm
Facebook?
there. I'm
And
there, but I'm
and
not busy there.
yeah, okay. And again, LinkedIn is something which you can't create followers. You have to create followers.
Yeah,
So, I mean, they have to come to you and they have to start linking with you and joining with you, for which you are creating content for them, which is of value, which they can share with other people. And so you said you have a community now. And do you use any other method of communicating with them apart from LinkedIn, like sending newsletters or anything else? Do you keep track of them, giving them information about what is happening in the startup sectors and things like that? Do you do that?
good question. Good question and good idea as well. I don't send any newsletters. But what we do, now I'm part of Venture Catalyst and we organize a knowledge series. So last
Right.
month, we invited Mr. Ritesh Agarwal, founder of Oyo Rooms, which is one of the
Mm.
decacons, more than $10 billion value company.
Right.
We interviewed him.
Mm.
A week back, we interviewed founder of a very successful startup called Beardo, which is now
Yes, I
acquired by a,
attended that. Yes, I
yes,
attended.
yes, very smart fellow. Now it
Yes,
is acquired by Marico in India.
I
You know,
believe so. I
yes,
believe.
yes. So we do this knowledge series. I invite more and more people, as in not crowd again,
Mm.
more and more curated people who are really serious about listening. Okay. We generally do not publish these invitations of exclusive, interviews on LinkedIn. You will never say my invitation going on LinkedIn, join this link and join,
No.
listen to Ritesh Agarwal. It is always on personal, say
The
WhatsApp messages
community,
and so
right?
on. Yes.
Right, the community which you have, and
Uh,
that's on WhatsApp, not newsletter yet. So tell me one thing which I want to ask you particularly about exit strategies, which you speak about. So I'm still a little new to this field, so please educate me. Do companies make profits, startups make profits only when they exit, when somebody acquires them? Do they make profits only then?
uh, no, profit, you mean selling shares, right?
Yeah, I mean, is it like, let me go back a little bit. Like, see, there are no local brands out here which have survived. For example, Kareem, it was a local startup in UAE, got bought off by Uber. We had Souk.com, and I feel very proud. I've lived here 30 years, Mandar. So I feel like, I'm a part of this country, and though I feel very happy for the owners, but when it is sort of that, you're not able to create and sustain any particular brand which is UAE brand. So when we look at souk.com was bought by Amazon, and then again InstaShop we had recently, which was purchased by Delivery Hero. So they are still continuing to give great service. But having said that, particularly in the case of souk.com, Amazon, I saw people having a lot of changes in, how the things were delivered or what. Maybe it is more standardized, maybe it is great, but somewhere where you were like, this is your local hero. Well, that
Your personal connection is lost.
that emotional, yeah, that emotional little
Emotional
connection.
connection is
Yes. While I'm very happy for the people who created these companies and sold them, they made money and they put efforts, they deserve it. Why not? But so does this have to be that the exit strategy has to be in place and only that is the only way of continuing this business? Because now there's no souk.com anymore. That is a brand which is now another 30 years, I think people won't even remember. Kareem is still there. They're still, but I'm just, you get my point, what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, very valid question, Shambhavi. Uh, First answer or first part of the answer is no. There is. It is not like 100% mandatory that you have to sell your startup one day to somebody else. You know, I was mentioning Ritesh Agarwal's interview, right? He said that
Right,
Oyo Room, he's going to be with Oyo Room. He's 26 years old today. And
right.
he wants to be with Oyo Rooms at least for 40 years. That's what he meant. Okay, he has no
It's a legacy.
intention
Yeah,
of
it's a
selling.
legacy.
It's a
Yeah.
legacy. Yeah, but at the same time, another founder, and there is nothing right or wrong. If when we had the interview of Beardo founder, right? You attended that as well. He
Yeah.
said in his mind it was always to grow the brand to a level, and then got acquired by a giant in the same FMCG, cosmetic or whatever industry you can call it, and then work on another project which he is now working on.
Working on, right.
Yeah, so
So from
some
the
people
beginning,
have
the
these
objective
multiple
was this.
ideas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the objective was so
Every
probably this.
5 years they want to tap another market, another industry segment, work on it, or somebody just loves the sector that he is in and he wants to continue. So
Yeah. So it's the
there is nothing
creativity,
right
I
or wrong.
suppose. Yeah. So there's a creativity.
Yeah.
So this is from the part of the person who has done the startup. What
Hmm.
about the part from the person who wants to invest? Should he also be looking at what is the exit strategy? When am I going to be able to leave out from that? How does that work?
If you're talking about angel investors as an individual, for
Yes.
example, now with venture capitalists, people can start the angel investment journey just with $8,000. This is
Okay.
one of the myths, by the way. Whenever I talk to people, they think that angel investment means, they should have at least
And seven
$100,000,
digits. Yeah.
then they can
100,000.
start and so on. So they say that, this is not my cup of tea, which is a myth.
Correct.
Which first
Yes.
thing I tell them that, now it's a democracy in the angel investment world, not like only big guys invest and become richer. Okay, so 8,000, $10,000 is any middle class or high middle class person can bet on it or can take the risk, right? So now for an angel investor as an individual, I see a window of 3 to 4 years. Okay, 3 to 4 years, the startup grows to a level where it needs a very large VC fund to fund it, say $5 million, $10 million, $20 million round, or even more, right? This is the stage where VCs also dictate the term sheet sometimes, or they dominate the what I can say, mm, the board of directors positions, or what should be written in the shareholding agreement and so on. This is to me the right time to exit for an individual angel investor, and it's a win-win situation because in this journey, the startup has grown very fast, right?
Okay.
So you have made a lot of good multiples in your equity value. This is one. A startup founder now is not looking at small investors like you. He's looking at much bigger
Big,
investors.
big.
So it is beneficial to him. And then venture capital fund, a large fund, they do not want to share the cap table, we call it, the list of shareholders with small people. So they want really a controlling stake sometimes, 20%, 30% stake. So it is good for everybody that, as an angel investor, you should always keep a window of 3 to 4 years.
Okay. So
Yeah.
that's a very good tip for any in people who are interested in investing for them to be watching this. That's a very good tip. So I have to thank you for the time that you spent with me, and I need
My
two
pleasure.
last things. One is for the marketing students, what kind of a takeaway will you give them? And then for those who want to start up, from my side, I will tell them to listen to all your videos. And but from your side, what would you like to say?
For marketing, I can speak for my own journey, right?
Right,
In my own profession, as I told you, it is very much related to money, and anywhere money deals require trust. Whatever contracts you sign, it is all about mutual trust.
trust.
So, uh, for me, marketing is all about creating that trust, right?
Right.
Uh, trust in my knowledge, trust in my capabilities, trust in my own achievements. Trust in how I look at the future. So, if they trust in my capabilities, my expertise, then something will happen. So they have to work on this aspect. This is one. Secondly, for the deal advisory thing, which I do, apart from angel investing, uh, I've never gone out and did any advertisement or marketing. It is 100% word of mouth for 5 years. 100%. Not even one client has come to me and said that I saw your uh, company board here or an advertisement somewhere, and then I got impressed. It doesn't happen that way. It is all word of mouth from satisfied clients. So this I can speak for myself, my own profession.
It's very it's like a circle which is a closed circle, because I've been speaking to so many entrepreneurs, so many people in different business lines, marketing heads and stuff. Everybody depends on word of mouth. It
Yes,
is so important, and the creating the trust and that word of mouth. So that is what I think best works for marketers in terms of trying to get anything across to the customer and trying to fulfill a need or whatever. So it's really thank you so much for affirming that customer is important, trust is important,
yes,
and word of mouth really carries.
it is indeed
It's the
important.
ultimate. According to what you're saying, that would be the
Right.
ultimate. So thank you so much, Mandar, and I wish you all the very best in your new journey in the Middle East and MENA region, rather. Wishing you all the very best, and we'll keep in touch. And thank you once again for being here.
Thank you, Shambhavi and the entire community of Shambhavi Spectrum. Yeah,
Thank
thank you
you.
for
Thank you.
inviting. Yeah, thank
Thank
you,
you.
thank you. Namaste.